This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Saints Pod. My name is Greg, and as always, today joined by my good friend and wonderful co-host, Zach. How you doing, mate? You looking forward to some more football coming your way?
I mean, I hope it's better than what we saw against Charlton. But yeah, I'm sure I'm looking forward to it, I guess. It should be fine. It's just we've been doing well midweek, but so do they, looking at the stats against QPR. So I guess it will be a interesting tie to borrow one of your colloquialisms.
Yeah, I mean, look, we beat them in the reverse fixture, which is a good start, right? A good sign of things to come. And we're in a position where, the draw against Charlton was frustrating, but overall our form is on an upward trend. We're unbeaten in, 6 now? Something stupid like that.
Yeah, I want to say 6, 4 wins, 2 draws, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so it's the sort of game that we should be looking forward to and looking to push on and get another win, but in the same regard, it's the Championship and nothing's easy, right? Like we talk every week about these must-win games and games we should steam over, but actually, it ain't all that, right?
Look, we last lost to them in 2013, so yeah, it would be fitting that we make these kind of jokes and we talk about how we're going to steamroll a team and then they beat us, right? And it's a constant that you'll hear from me, is that we should never underestimate any opponent we come against, especially one where we've already beaten them once this season, and like teams are learning, right? Like Charlton learned, and they showed that over the weekend, and I imagine QPR to be doing the same. They are on a little bit of a positive streak at the moment for them, but ultimately it's a game we should be picking up 3 points on, in my opinion. Should be.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, right? And it kind of feels like some of setting the way for that almost came at the cost of those 3 points against Charlton, right? Because we saw the minute-saving substitutions that we've come to expect, and I don't know how much of that is down to fitness. They can't play more than that, and how much of that is we've got another game Tuesday to think about. But it's, I mean, Tonda said in his presser that he's happy with the way that the recovery has been handled and the fitness is coming together. So it kind of feels like it was all with one eye on this fixture that took place. So you kind of feel like we have to push on and get the result here. Otherwise, what was the point of it?
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. It's just a strange vibe. It's a really peculiar time for games to begin coming at such velocity and pace, right? And it's only going to become more so of an issue now that we sort of progress through the cup as well. Another game moved to midweek off the back of that. So
yeah, we're better at midweek games now, right? After a while of us saying, we're terrible at midweek games, we can now, probably quite accurately say we're quite good at midweek games. So is it the end of the world? No, not really.
No, it'll be interesting. Let's have a little move in then, mate, to team lineups. How do you think that fitness plays in? Do you think we see like a mostly unchanged 11, or are you thinking we're starting to see some rotation?
Well, like left back, we can't rotate.
Yeah,
because there is no one who's fit other than Manning at the moment, and I think it's one of the things where I know we've not really mentioned him at all much since the beginning of the season. It's one of those times I really do miss the fact that Kyle Walker-Peters could play on both the left and the right. So when you had something like this, because now we have an abundance of right backs, only one of whom is fit, and only because we took him back from Charlton. and one who is now out for the season, and somebody on loan who I don't know if he'll get many chances towards the end of his loan now if Bree keeps playing the way he is, unless there's an
Mm.
injury, if I'm totally honest. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a fitness concern. Obviously, we haven't had a press conference yet. Why would we, if we get one at all? We haven't heard about, if Leo's all right after going down pretty heavy the other day. So I wouldn't really be surprised if he gets swapped out. But, Stevens and Taylor Harbour-Bella seem to be fine. So I would maybe say defence probably unchanged.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
with the
Quasi instead
defensive
of
line,
Stevens.
no, I think with the defensive line, it makes sense to keep it structured, keep it solid. It's the foundation you want to build the rest of your team on. I think with the presser, they kind of put out like a press conference, but it was very clearly recorded straight after the Charlton game, presumably because of the like quick turnaround and the travel. So it was like, yeah, talking all about the game on Tuesday, but you're right, no actual like substance or fitness updates on things like
Yes,
Leo.
we have to sort of thing.
So, but I mean, that could in itself be a strength, right? Coming in with a bit of an unknown as to what we'll line up as is going to hamper their preparation, presumably. What about the middle line then? So Charles coming off at 60 minutes and brought on for Yander coming on for him. Cam Bragg coming off for Downs. Downs now on 9 yellow cards critically, right? And I think it's after the Sheffield Wednesday game at the weekend that the card amnesty occurs. I don't know for sure. I can't remember the exact dates, but
I do not either, if I'm totally
is
honest.
that the
So
kind of thing where you sacrifice him in this game to make sure that he definitely is playing like the next three, because it's a three game ban if he gets the 10th, right?
yeah, I probably would. If it is literally, I don't remember if the amnesty works like that exactly. But if it means that he misses one game and gets to participate in three, I probably would. Because again, if you're going to have to swap out a player, the middle of the park is where we have the most options, right?
Mm.
Between Bragg, Yander, Charles, maybe we might even see on the bench. Who knows? But yeah, I think that he was substituted immediately after that yellow card the other day. I don't know how much I would trust him to maybe not pick up another one.
Yeah, I mean it's a running joke on this show that him getting booked is like the safest bet
It's a
in
running joke.
football,
We would
right?
have made so much money, but
Yeah.
it's probably at this point terrible odds because of how often it happens.
So I've just done my research, and yeah, it's the yeah, I don't know. I am still not clear because, as with all of these things, kind of deliberately ambiguous, right?
I don't know. I just think it's a thing that I'm not going to lie, we don't really think about, and we shouldn't have to think about because we shouldn't have players that pick up this many yellows. If I'm totally honest,
Yeah,
especially where some of the yellows that he's picked up have not been for some of them have been really like, oh, thank goodness that foul stopped us from losing the game, and other times it's just like, why did he do that? We're 20 minutes in. Like,
yeah.
it's not.
Or I mean, petulance is a word that springs to mind, right? I think I can think of at least 3 of his yellow cards this season that have just been his hot head and his mouth running that have got him into trouble, right? Like mouthing
I
off at the
guess
referee, get a yellow. It's is something when it starts to tot up to this amount that could have a serious impact. Especially, like you say, he's been one of those quality pieces in that midfield for us. So for it to not be the case, if it would be a 2-match ban. Yes, it's crazy.
either
Yeah, I
way,
don't know if
to your point
that
though,
comes into the mindset though of like team selection. But it'd be before the 37th game. So actually, I mean, that is 2 games after Sheffield Wednesday. I don't see us leaving him out for that long. And frankly, I don't see him going that long without picking up another booking. That's the crazy thing, right?
no, I've and so yeah, that says everything you need to know. in my opinion.
Yeah,
Again, if he plays, cool. If he doesn't, cool. I'm kind of happy with whoever. I think that as long as whoever gets on plays their best and they have a good game is all I kind of care about, right? Like we don't want another sort of when Yanda played against Leicester and didn't have a great game. But I'm not really concerned about whoever plays in the middle of the park.
yeah, no, I agree with that. It's a nice. We talked about how the nice position, the sort of depth of that position brings. So it's good. Yeah, I think you're right. Any of the, I'd probably go as far as to say 5 names that you name in that midfield. Right, Shea Charles, Flynn Downs, Cam Bragg, Casper Yander, Oriol Romeu. You're probably not going to be too upset about any of it. You'll be happy to see the name on the sheet. What about Finn Azaz? Didn't have a performance to remember against Charlton. I don't know. What do you think? Think he keeps his place? Do you think he gets rotated out for
I
I don't know, like Jay Robinson in that position or something?
I don't know because I still don't know if we know if Jay's fit or not. But Jay scored out last time out against QPR. To be fair, but like he's not had the best games recently. He had some really good stats against QPR last time we played them, but I just don't know. Like we've talked about this so often with how potentially hot and cold he's been, and what we kind of would expect more of. And yeah, I just expect more of him. And at the moment, I don't know what's going on, but like for me, it was part of the problem we had attacking on Saturday against Charlton, right?
Mm.
And again, like 4 shots, not a single one of them on target. Wasn't really. It doesn't spring. He's not playing with confidence right now, and that is
No.
very, very obvious. And I'm really hoping that like purple patch of form he had wasn't just it, because like we finally saw the player we expected when we signed him, and then he's just gone missing again. And like maybe swapping him out for somebody else is slightly better. The problem is yeah, you're right. Who maybe move
Yeah, I
Giles
don't
up
know.
there and
It's a really strange one. You're right. Look, there's clear a quality player in there, but he's clearly so. I don't know. I don't know if it's confidence based or just like if there's something that these teams that he's come up against and struggled against where they've just like figured him out before he gets there or something, and it throws him off. Like I don't. It's really hard to sort of put it into perspective because generally speaking, he's got such good vision forward of what's happening to him, but just none of it seems to have come off. The stats for the Charlton game were, I mean, if some of the other players who are in the eye as they are sometimes had those statistics, it would be it would be call for arms, right? Like, oh, I should never play again. And I don't really think that should be the case, and I don't think it is the case for him. But something needs to sort itself out and get either him into form or yeah, just bring something fresh to that position. I don't know. I don't know if it's Jay Robinson. I know that we've seen Matsky coming on for Tom Fellows on the right more often, but when we brought him in, he was seen as more of this sort of number 10 style attacking midfielder.
yeah.
So maybe we give him a shot there. I don't think the answer would be to bring Cameron Archer in to play number 10 because we tried it
No,
and it didn't
we
work.
saw that. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's frustrating and it's upsetting. I think I've said this multiple times that like he gets constantly pointed for not even really criticism, just like we just think we need something different. That's kind of
Mm.
more where it's at. It's annoying because again, like when you show you can do it, it's more frustrating when you don't, when you stop doing it, right? And
Yeah.
like at least with some players, like there's not that level of expectation on like Jay Robinson, for example, because he's young, because he's coming through still, because he's going to have a mistake in him every so often, and not that he's really put much of a foot wrong from what he's been asked to do, but like with Azaz, it's because he's kind of a big money, one of our big money signings, right, for this season. and it's kind of almost like a temperature gauge as to how well a game is going to go, right? If he's having an absolute stinker, unless you're going to replace him with somebody else, And I do genuinely believe, like, one of the reasons he was one of the senior players to be brought on in the FA Cup was the hope that he would score a goal and boost his confidence a little bit more, and get back to kind of those sort of like scoring ways. And maybe there is too much pressure on him. Maybe you're right. Maybe we don't. The system doesn't suit him to the best of his ability all the time. But all I'm saying is maybe we just give somebody else a shot there. That's all.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what comes out. Fellows we talked about as well in the Charlton game and the game before, right? Not also in a bit of a cold patch, truthfully.
Yeah.
Better against Charlton than against Leicester, for sure.
Yeah,
by
very
a long way. But
apart from when he absolutely stacked
should have shot first time instead of tripping over the ball
3 or 4 times. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Do you think he gets back as a start, or maybe have?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to change it. If I'm totally honest, maybe depends how tired he is. Maybe they might just. I don't think it'll be necessarily for performance. I think it'll be, if anything, due to fitness. And that might be why we keep seeing Matsky on the right and not on the middle, right? It's just that Fellows is the one that's struggling for fitness more than Azaz.
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of minutes for us this season, Fellows. He's played so much football, and for the type of player he is, that especially when he was in that wing-back role, just running basically the full length of the pitch time and time again. Like, it's got to take its toll at some point. And yeah, you're right. Maybe that's a factor as to why we've not seen sort of the best out of him. Obviously, you say Leo, presumably if he is fit and not taking too bad of a knock from that hit, will be back in the starting lineup. But
yeah, for sure.
But if he's not, you'd expect at this point, I think, Sammy Edozie to get a start.
Yeah, potentially. I don't think I'd be upset by that either.
Yeah, I think that we've talked a lot about how kind of the flair of Leo has the ability to bring the team up, and Edozie's got a bit of that about him too. Not quite to like the same, not quite with like the same ferocity as Leo, I think is how I'd describe it. But he's got a bit of a flair about his game, and there is quality there, and we've seen moments of it in his sort of sub appearances. It's always harder to judge off of a substitute appearance as well. So, yeah, I think that he's done enough to justify naming him if Leo's not going to be ready to play, which it looked like quite a hard knock. So maybe that is going to be the case. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree.
You think Ross Stewart will be fit enough to start again, or do you think we just rotate Larin in?
I would rotate Larin in just because, we saw him grab his hamstring a couple of times at Charlton, and we don't want to risk that. And we know what happens if we play him 3 times in a week, and we do have another striker in. And, you know, it's interesting that neither me or you are thinking like, maybe they'll play Cam Archer. That's just not even a option at this point, right?
Well, I just think we tried that and it didn't come off. I don't necessarily think that that Tonda maybe will have written him off quite as much as we seem to have, but I don't see that naming him in the starting lineup is going to like boost the confidence, right, of him or us. I think at the moment, and the way he's been playing, I could see him coming off the bench for whoever starts, Stewart or Larin, because both players of those bringing up their minutes, right, with the eye on the game on Saturday as well. You kind of think that 60-30 between them, I mean, they'll probably need that third option. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. I think Larin will get the start, and I think we might see him come off in the 65th-ish minute for Archer. And hopefully that'll be at a point in the game where Archer will get an opportunity to do something but not with the pressure of it meaning much, right?
Yes,
Like
I'd
if he
really
can come
like
on
it
and
if by that point we
score,
put it to bed.
if we're 3-0 up and he can come on and score a fourth, that's kind of like the best case scenario for everyone, right?
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's kind of what we all want to see. And well, I don't know if everybody wants to see him on the pitch, to be honest, but he is a Saints player, and we don't want to do much experimenting so late into the season at this point. Like,
Yeah,
considering where we are and what we want to do and what we want to achieve, and what the board's aim is, I feel like messing about too much with, oh, maybe we'll put this person in here. That's why they did. That's why they did it when an FA Cup game, and still didn't quite go to plan. So you're right. If we do see him, it'll probably be as a substitute, and it will only be, I think, if we've done enough to see it over the line. If not, it'll be Ross back on, won't it?
yeah. I mean, look, it'll be interesting to see how much the third game at the weekend factors in. It's kind of it's interesting, right? Because the third game of the week has been sort of historically where we've struggled more than the other two. But with all due respect, the third game this week is Sheffield Wednesday, who, I mean, sure, if you look past them and take it easy, they're not unlikely to be in a position to fulfill that banana skin position, but also already relegated, still in minus points. Do we know the ownership situation? It's kind of, no one likes to see it, but it's the situation is what it is. So you kind of feel like this is the game maybe you have to put more effort into to get the win than that. I don't know. How do you feel? Is that sort of too reductive?
No, I agree.
All right, cool. Right, the
Sorry, I
chat.
know that usually you expect me to not, but no, I agree.
That's fine. Right, mate. Like you say, history on our side when you look at results for this fixture. Of the last 9 matches we've played against them, 6 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Like you say, all the way back in 2013 to find the last time that we lost to them.
That was the Premier League as well.
Yeah, crazy how time's gonna go.
Mate, Gaston Ramirez scored in that game.
that is insane. But
Park Ji-sun played for QPR. Sorry, just having my own absolute, mental breakdown over that. Gooley was still on the bench. Puncheon started. Yep, sorry, Greg.
but look, I mean, look, they've held their own this season. I guess they are there or thereabouts where we maybe expect them to be from our pre-season testing
I don't
or
know.
pre-season predictions.
Didn't we put them like 10th to 12th, right?
Yeah, and they're currently 13th, directly below us.
There you go. So
but they've
geniuses we are.
They had a good run of form earlier on in the season. They're kind of hot and cold at the moment, it would seem. Kind of maybe had some tougher games in recent memory, but their away form is pretty good. 3 draws and a win away from home in their last 4. So it's not, like I said, it's a championship match. It's not one that we can just immediately write off and say, yep, absolutely nailed on win, right? Like anything could happen, and that is kind of both the blessing and the curse of this league, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very difficult to level your expectations based off of the uncertainty. The AI spiel in front of me, as always, that we love. The safe angle being Southampton to win with a higher XG at home, meaning that they are likely to scoop the points. 3+ expected goal benchmark, but over 1.5 goals is the favoured odds. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty conclusive. That's slightly more than the 2-1 it normally predicts, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, which is funny because the last games we had against them, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1. So the first time that it's like actually we think, well, I guess if it's 2-1, that's 3 goals, right? So
yeah. Interestingly, on the little note section, it says if you're weighing risk, don't go for over goals, go for over 7.5 corners. So, I mean, take from that what you will. I read that as not great at shooting. I don't know. But I don't know, mate. What do you think? How do you feel the scores are going to lie when the game finishes?
oh, problem is I went 3-0 last time and it was a 1-1 draw. And I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up similar to the last game where it ends up as a 2-1 win for us. I just don't see us keeping a clean sheet at the moment. We seem to struggle. We managed 1 or 2, and then after the last game, it's like again we know that Peretz has got that style of mistake in him. We saw it again almost happen at St Mary's the other day. So I'd be happy with 2-1, maybe more. I'd like more because then maybe as you said, if we score 3 and then Cameron Archer can come on and get a 4th, that'd be wonderful. But I'm going to go an optimistic prediction for me at 2-1, mate.
All right, I'll take it. Where are those goals coming from?
I would like to see Cole Laren score a brace. And pass up to 2-0 at half time. That's what I would like.
I'd be even happier if my seat gets picked from the Brace Yourself competition from midnight, but there we go. That's good stuff. No, I like the sound of that. I'm there for it. I'm not feeling too dissimilar to you, if I'm honest, mate. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty reasonable shout. But I'm going to say 2-0. I think that the focus is going to be on seeing out a game and pushing on and getting that second goal, hopefully pretty quickly after we manage to get the... I don't know whether QPR are going to come to play a bit or have a low block. I mean, looking at their last results, 3 of their last 4 games have finished 0-0. So maybe that is a sign of things to come. But I don't know. I fancy a couple of goals. So let's stick with 2-0.
Cool. Sounds good.
And why not? Carl Laren, both of them. Sure. That sounds good to me. It'd be nice for him to that would be like, what, 4 in 4 games? That would be nuts, right? So
yeah, that'd be really good for us.
Yeah, good stuff. But look, let's wait and see. It's going to be a nice night out at St Mary's. Hopefully the weather won't be too horrible. It'll warm up a bit, fingers crossed. If not, it's just got to be Bovril in it. That'll keep us warm. But look, listen, let us know in the comments on the socials how you think it's going to go and what you think the score is going to be. We are Daily Saints Pod, absolutely everywhere. X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Hit us up, let us know. We love hearing from you, and I can't wait to see what you think is going to happen. But whatever happens, we will be here to talk about it after the game. And be it joy or despair, it's all just part of that wonderful roller coaster ride of being a Saints fan that we all know and love. So, we'll be here to talk about it for sure. Until then, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Zach, as always, for joining me, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Have a wonderful day, and come on, you Saints!
Whee! This is the Daily Saints Pod with Zach and Greg.